Oh my gosh. That was probably one of the weirdest intros we've had so far. Guys, I was overwhelmed. Okay, I had to start the mic recording, I had to start the camera recording, and then I was carrying this pumpkin. Okay. Welcome back to the pod, you guys. My favorite time of the freaking week is talking to you guys. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, if you're watching the video version, I am like struggling right now. I am trying to set the fall vibes. Okay, it is freaking pumpkin season, my favorite season of them all, and it's a rainy autumn day. It's a rainy autumn day in New Jersey right now. And right now we have my little pumpkin squishmallow to set the mood. And on top of that, not only do we have our pumpkin squishmallow, but we have a cup of piping hot British tea. I don't even know if it's British, but it's in this cup, and this cup says London on it. So it's giving British. Also, oh, you know what I was thinking about today, guys? Okay, first quick rant before we get into the Ask Nick questions, girl talk vibe questions. I have been really obsessed lately with the way that British people say chocolate, and I just feel like we don't talk about it enough in our society. Chocolate? Like, that's my favorite thing in the world. Okay, anyway, today I have peppermint tea. I have discovered you guys know I always have a bev when I'm doing these episodes, and one thing that I've really discovered about myself is I have a deep obsession for peppermint tea. And you might be like, Nikki, ew, why would you drink peppermint in a tea? Like, you know, like peppermint's kind of like cold minty. Why would you drink it in a hot tea? It'll change your entire life. First of all, it's caffeine free, which I need that. I need that sometimes. And then also, like, I need more caffeine-free drinks or low caffeine drinks. So I also need to start drinking matcha. But anyway, I got really into peppermint tea this year. Like, it has taken Niki by storm. I've been drinking it crazy. Whenever I need a little bit of comfort, let's have a little sippy sip, little ASMR sip. Ooh, it's getting cold. Okay. I love it on like a cozy rainy day, just like a cup of tea. It just feels so freaking British. I don't know what my obsession is with British today. Okay, sorry. I've just been feeling like this cozy rainy day vibe that reminds me of when I used to watch YouTubers back in the day, and it was always British YouTubers I would watch growing up, and like One Direction videos. So I like had this deep weird obsession with British people and their accents and everything. And I used to watch Jack's Gap and like Zoella and Alfie. If you guys know who I'm talking about, like OG YouTubers, and like it's just the same vibes I'm getting today. That's why I'm like on this whole British thing. So if I randomly talk in an accent, I'm sorry. Also, rate my accent in the comments. I think it's pretty good. Let me try to say a sentence. Do you fancy some chocolate? Like, oh, come on. Put me on the Hogwarts Express. Anyway, oh my gosh. I've been ranting about British accents for 3 minutes. Okay, getting into the pod. Welcome back. Today, I wanted to answer some questions. I love answering questions right now. It's like my new favorite thing. But just a little life update for you guys. I'm in New Jersey currently still. I'm going back to LA actually next week for a really fun and cool and awesome event, which makes me feel like so like lucky. Like I don't even know. I don't even feel like I deserve things sometimes. So when I get invited to really cool events, I'm like, what the frick? But you guys will see it on my Snapchat next week. And then also, what else am I doing? Oh, I booked my next trip to LA. So I will be back in my favorite city this month. And I'm really excited. And yeah, I just think that I live at home when I come home to the East Coast. So I feel like every time I book another trip to LA, like I'm really, if you guys don't know, I live in Airbnbs basically all the time, but I feel really like I'm gaining my independence back, my own life. Like it feels really good and healthy, and coming home is like a reset. So I've been kind of bi-coastal this year a lot, but I'm really excited to go back. Anyway, let's get into the pod questions. Y'all, I just wanted you guys to have a little update on my life. That's my current update. I will also usually update you guys if I have any current obsessions. Right now, my current obsession is my fall playlist. I just made it. It's amazing. It's called Crunching Leaves. No, it's called Crunching PSLs and Eating Leaves or something. It's something funny and goofy. But follow my Spotify. It's so good. And then also, if you guys need Halloween costume ideas, I literally just made a ton. My Amazon has like 200 costume ideas on it, honestly. So go check that out. Anyway, let's get into the pod. I wanted to answer some questions from you guys because I like to hear what you guys are struggling with and like help out where I can. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about is dealing with life changes. Someone asked, how do you deal with life changes? And I feel like this is such an important question because it's really like you're always going through life. Like, I feel like I'm always going through life like wanting my eras from the past back, or like just like clinging on, being like, if I'm in a good era of my life, I'll be like, I really hope this doesn't change. But like, the reality of the situation is life is always changing. It's always changing. And like, when you're in this stage of like middle school, high school, college, post college, like every single year is so drastically different from the last, and it's like really hard. If you're in a good era, like it can feel really hard to like leave that and like start something new, or if you're in like a dull era of your life, it's like really, it's hard to push yourself out of your comfort zone and change something about yourself so that you're really becoming new and growing and everything. So dealing with life changes is really difficult, but what you need to realize is that whenever there's a change going on in my life, on the surface, I'm always like, I'm fine, this is fine, like everything's fine. But internally, I'm so stressed about it, and I don't really think about how much changes like affect me in the moment, and that's when I feel like anxious or stressed, because I don't realize how much life changes affect me. And so what you have to do is like realize that you are going through so much. Like, life is always changing, and that in itself can be so freaking overwhelming. So give yourself grace and like go easy on yourself. Like, I think that's the biggest takeaway that I've learned, is that it's okay to miss eras from your life. It's okay to miss people from your life. It's okay to miss things, and you just need to realize that and kind of believe that things are always going to get better. I think I've really dealt with life changes really well, because every time that I exit a phase of my life, even if I was having a lot of fun in it, I like, let's say freshman year of college, I had so much fun freshman year of college, and I was like, I do not want to enter a new era. Okay, I did not want to do it. But I feel like once I have this idea in my head of like, okay, things are only going to get better though, I just trust the process, and I'm so excited about my life changes, because literally moving out of college, I was like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do with my life? I'm scared, blah, blah, blah. And I did not know what was next for me, and that was really overwhelming and really stressful and really anxious. But I just trusted that things were going to get immediately better for me. Like, not immediately, but I trusted that things were going to eventually get better for me. And then I ended up moving to LA for the first time. This is literally exactly a year ago. Isn't that insane, you guys? I like my podcast episodes, you can look them up from when I first went to LA, that I started this podcast like this time last year. Our podcast is a year old. Oh, okay. Anyway, I love you guys if you've been here since the beginning or whenever you joined. Oh my God, my brain is all over the place. But moving out of college, I was really scared. And then I went to LA and I was really scared. But I always have this trust that things are always going to level up and get better for me, because I'm always working towards a goal that I want. I know that I put in hard work. I know that even though things don't look like they're going my way, sometimes everything is working on its own timeline for me, for things to work out for me. And I just need you guys to have that belief that everything is going to get better, because when you believe it, you attract it. And I went to LA not knowing anyone, not knowing anything. And the first day I'm in LA, I meet someone, or I reconnected with somebody who literally introduced me to everyone I know in LA. Like, it is so crazy. I ran into a girl on the street that I knew through like talking to her through social media, whatever. And I started going to these creator events because she told me about them. I started going to these creator events and met everybody I'm currently friends with in LA through them. So I don't know, that era of like LA, that first month I lived alone, I was coming out of a breakup. I lived alone. I was scared. I was straight out of college. I didn't know how to live in a city by myself. I was really just like figuring everything out, and I just trusted that things were going to get better for me, and I had the best time of my freaking life. And I think it's all about your perspective on things. Like, if you believe things are going to get better for you, they will. You need to just have that trust though, because that's really important. There are always going to be opportunities around you at all times, and if your mind is open and you're thinking positively and you're like, the world is full of so many possibilities, my life is only going to get better from here, like, you are going to start seeing those possibilities and those opportunities. But if you're shut off and you have an outlook that's like, oh my gosh, I don't want things to change, and you're always hanging on to the past and you're always hanging on to toxic people, you're going to miss so many opportunities that could have came your way. So honestly, that's like a big part of it, is just trust that things are going to get better for you, and they will. Trust me. Okay, so that's kind of how I deal with life changes. Wow, that was a really long-winded answer, but I just want to talk about, I could literally do a whole episode on life changes, and I've done an episode that's called Getting Comfortable with Feeling Lost, and it's all about life changes. And like, I don't know, it can be so scary to change anything about your life, like to push yourself out of your comfort zone and be like, I'm going to change something about my life. Or if you're like forced, like school, how school works, you're going to the next grade, you're like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen this year. Like literally just trust that things are working out in your favor. It literally changed my life to have this mindset. And people always ask me like, how are you so positive? It's literally this mindset that things are always working out for me. And I've had friends that are like, Niki, like, how do you have such good luck? Like, I don't know, like blah, blah, blah. It's literally this mindset. Like I'm telling you, it's some kind of like science behind it. I think it's your energy attracts good energy. If you have good energy, you attract good energy. So whenever you're going through life changes, just like trust that things are only going to get better for you. And they will. I promise you. Oh, okay. Okay. I accidentally opened someone's message on Snap, so now we're going to answer it. For the pod, can you please talk about the friend zone? Because my guy best friend, I've had a crush on him since the day we met. And we tell each other everything. We've gotten really close. I even asked him to homecoming, but there's still no signs of him liking me back. I don't know what to do. And if I tell him I like him, I don't want it to ruin our friendship. So I want him to tell me he likes me before I do something stupid. Okay, let's talk about the friend zone, guys. There are two cases here, in my humble opinion. Wait, let me reread this. I've had a crush on him since the day we met, and we tell each other everything. We've gotten really close. So you guys are close friends. Okay, good. Step 1. I even asked him to homecoming, but there's still no signs of him liking me back. Girl, what does that mean? You asked him to homecoming, but there's no signs of him liking you back. So did he say no? Did he say yes? How did he say yes? Was it enthusiastic? Like, was he weird? Did he duck you? Did he not answer? Like, I need to know more details here. But I don't know what to do. If I tell him I like him, I don't want it to ruin our friendship. So I want him to tell me he likes me before I do something stupid. 2 case scenarios. Number 1, he's the shyest kid ever, because I know guys that have been like way too scared to make a move on the girl they like because they genuinely like them a lot. And number 2, he doesn't like you. So, but in my humble opinion, I think that, I don't know, because it depends on so much when you're like in the friend zone with a guy, especially if you're younger. Like, I just feel like when you're younger, guys just don't know what they want at all. Like, you honestly don't realize that guys don't mature until they're like, okay, this is a general statement. It doesn't apply to everyone. Disclaimer. But for the most part, in my personal experience, guys don't mature until they're like in their 20s. So it's sad out here. But yeah, honestly, I think that guys when they're younger are just afraid of relationships in general. So if you are, I don't know how old you are asking this question, but I'm gonna assume like middle school, high school, and maybe, yeah, you said homecoming, so it's gotta be high school. I just think that guys are afraid of relationships and feelings and everything that comes with it. And honestly, one of the biggest blessings in life is just a good old friendship. I'm not even saying that to be like, I don't know. I feel like people always tell you not to date in high school. I don't have that perspective, but I do think there's something really nice about having a good friend in high school. And if they're not taking it to the next level, you can, like, I am all for girls making the first move, but if you don't want to ruin the friendship, like, that is something that you're kind of risking there. And I got the best advice when I was in high school from my friend's mom, who said, if you like them that much, it'll be worth risking the friendship. So I think you have to take into account how much you like them. Are you willing to risk it? Because you are putting something at risk, like that dynamic that you have with them now. And honestly, if I'm looking back and giving my younger self advice, like, it's so nice to just have close guy friends and not turn it into something else. Like, there's so much pressure with dating. There's so much awkwardness and like stuff that comes with dating that, like, honestly, sometimes it's better to just have a friend that you can have no filter with and have that dynamic with. Tea break. But if you're like head over heels in love with them, you don't want to have any regrets. So I will also say it has to be worth risking the friendship. I've done it. I told this guy I liked him in like 8th grade, and he said, I DM'd him that I liked him in 8th grade, and he said, oh. And then we never talked again. So, you know, it's that's, you know, how it is. Anyway, okay, let's go to the next one. Ooh, okay, a lot of people have been asking me to talk about period tips, and I'm so down. Okay, let's talk about it. So someone said, this is random, but do you have any period tips or signs you're getting your period? I have this weird spidey sense. I don't know if other girls have this, but I have this weird spidey sense when I'm gonna get my period. Like, it is weird. Every time before I'm about to get my period, I don't care if this is TMI, I like go to the bathroom and I'm like, wait, I got it. Like, I know, and I always go to the bathroom and like just have a feeling. Like, it's weird spidey sense. I didn't get this till like I was like 20, like 21 maybe. Like, it came with the age, but I don't know what that is. But tips for getting your period. Okay, signs you're getting your period: cramps, bloating, you feel like you're like gaining weight, whatever. Like, I always bloat like a week before my period, and I'll be like, why do I look like this? And then I'll be like, oh, I was just getting my period. And like, it's just girl brain to like freak out for no reason. But okay, period tips. I think that you need to be prepared for cramps. So my biggest period tips is like, if I know I'm about to get my period, I do not work out the day before. Like, literally track your cycle. And if you know that you're like close to getting your period, do not do heavy workouts, do light workouts. And because that'll avoid cramps. I've literally been in the gym like about to throw up before from cramps because I worked myself out right before my period. So that's one thing. Number 2, drink hot liquids and put heating pads on. Like, if you have bad cramps, hot liquids are your best friend. I didn't know this. Like, everyone always tells you put a heating pad on, it helps your cramps, like blah blah. But literally, you know what helps your cramps? A freaking hot beverage down your stomach. It like addresses your uterus so fast because you're like literally ingesting hot water, hot tea, whatever. It's so helpful. Don't drink caffeine. Caffeine makes your cramps worse. Ooh, what else? I am against tampons a little bit. Guys, personally, for me, my personal choices, I'm kind of against them. I think that a lot of tampons have bleach in them, and I don't think that's good for your body. So I'm just putting it out there right now. I recommend that you don't use tampons. And that's just, you know, it's a personal decision. But I'm more for like the toxic ingredients in it. I'm just worried for you guys. Okay, I'm just worried. So that's one thing. And signs you're getting your period: you're gonna be moody, you're gonna be bloated, you're gonna be a mess, you're gonna feel like your life's falling apart, and then you'll be like, oh, I was just getting my period. And that's girlhood. Oh, okay. Love it. Let's see. Ooh, my gosh. I want to sing something right now. Whenever I have this mic on, I want to like sing to you guys. What song should I sing? I got nervous. Okay. Let me read. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Okay, someone said how to be better at not being awkward in conversations with people that you feel are drifting away from you. Girl, if you feel like people are drifting away from you, you do not have to chase them down. Okay, I see what you're asking here, like how to not be awkward in conversations. But let's address the elephant in the room. People are drifting away from you. Like, if you feel like your friends are drifting away from you, or you have to like chase your friends down, like to keep the friendship going, if you are always initiating things, girl, you should not even be chasing these people down. I'm sorry. This question, like, okay, how to not be awkward in conversations with, I'm sorry. Like, if you feel like your friends are drifting away from you, like, you should not be chasing them down or like trying to, like, this question is just weird to me, because if I feel like people are drifting away from me, I'm like, okay, let them go, because the people that truly love you will come back. And if people are drifting away from you, there's a reason. There's a reason. And I don't think you should chase down people who don't see your worth. So I'm just going to stop it right there. I'm not going to give you tips on how to not be awkward in conversation. I'm just going to say stop chasing people who are drifting away from you. Let them go. Because you are a gift to this world and to people, and your energy is a gift. And I tell you guys that all the time. And you should not be chasing down people who are drifting away from you at all, because people should be putting in the same effort you are. And if you're like the only person putting an effort to that relationship, they gotta go. Okay, let's see. Ooh, what are your top 3 red flags in boys? I can't think of any good ones right now, but I know you're a genius. Please, the way you wrote that question, I cannot. Okay, top 3 red flags. I have some pretty good ones. Let's see. I think that a red flag is if okay, let me think on this. Let me think of a good one. I think any sort of cockiness, like a guy just thinking that or anyone just thinking that they're better than other people is a huge red flag. I think that's a big one for me. I don't like that energy when people like act like they're better than other people, and if he shows signs of like feeling superior to you, blah blah blah, like it's just not hot. And you know that those people are going to be the most disrespectful people to date, and they will probably disrespect you and your boundaries. So cockiness is like out. Confidence and cockiness are kind of hard to tell apart, but a confident person will not have to go announce to the world why they're like good, cool, whatever. Like a cocky person is gonna go try to one up people, try to announce the world how cool they are, like try to get attention from everybody. Like I don't like that energy. It's very toxic, and like it just shows that they like think they're better than people, so they will disrespect people. That is one of my biggest red flags. What else? I think I'm trying to think of more red flags. Let me Google. Not me Googling. She's like, you're a genius. And I'm like, haha, at google.com. Let's see. Oh, controlling. I think that's a huge one. If someone is controlling or trying to be controlling with you, goodbye. I hate that energy so freaking much. And over time, it's just going to get literally worse. I think another thing that is a red flag is, general, this is a hard one, but this one's like personal to me. I feel like general, just like laziness. I think that I'm gonna talk about myself so that you guys understand the context. I think I used to go for like really lazy, dull guys, thinking that they were just like cool and laid back. But no, save yourself the time, and just like people that have no energy or bad energy or a lack of energy. I used to think that it was like cool and it would calm me down because I'm a very like outgoing person, and I used to think it would be like a good balance to date someone like that. No, it just dulled me out, dulled my personality out, made me sadder over time. And like those people just like are the people who are not going to put an energy or effort in the relationship as well. So that's a big thing for me, is energy. I think I need to really feel someone's radiant energy from now on. And the next person I date, I always say this, I need to not play around. The next person I date needs to be like very good energy and energetic and fun, and like someone who you know who's gonna put the effort in and like be charismatic and be there for you and blah blah. Because I would always go for guys who were like dull, and they would like drain me in my energy, and then they would make me more quiet and a more laid back person, which I just didn't like. Like it was kind of like I was quieting my personality to be with these guys who honestly just didn't match my energy or my effort in the relationship. So that's a huge one to me. That's a big red flag. And yeah, I think that's my biggest one. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. Someone said how to deal with randomly crying. It happens a lot to me. Girl, I'm so sorry. I cry. I've cried in public a lot of times. And I don't know how to give advice for this. Like, how to deal with randomly crying. Girl, feel your feelings. Don't be ashamed of it. I think that crying is cool. Okay, crying is a sign that you're like processing your emotions, and that's really good. I've been randomly crying a lot lately. Not gonna lie. And I think it's from like anxiety. So honestly, if it's like that type of situation, or there's something like specific bothering you over and over again, talk to somebody. Girl, like talk to somebody. Like work it out, journal, talk to people. I think that's the best way that you can help yourself. And like if it's something consistent that's bothering you, address it, because I think a sign of randomly crying is like having stress going on all the time. So talk to someone, okay? Talk to someone you trust, a friend, whatever, family, like just like sibling, whatever. Just talk to somebody about how you're feeling. And if it's just randomly crying for like minor inconveniences, like I feel that. And that's just life. And it's okay to cry. Like there's no like stigma. Like we don't have to be like, ew, like crying in public scares. Like crying is definitely an uncomfortable feeling, but it's life. Like it's human nature. Like I'm sorry. I'm not going to apologize. I cry all the time. I literally cry on the internet in front of you guys, and you guys are like, some people will be like, why is she filming herself crying? And other people will be like, thank you so much for being real. And like, that's what I'm trying to do. So I don't think we should have like a thing against crying. Okay, girl, it's okay to cry. Cry it out. But that's my take on that. And on that note of randomly crying, I'm going to end this episode. I love you guys so freaking much. Thank you for listening and being a part of the band. Let me know if we have any topics that we specifically want to cover. I think next week I'm going to go through the replies on Spotify to this podcast and pick questions from there. So definitely follow the pod and reply to this podcast on Spotify saying what you want me to cover, topics, questions, specific life advice, anything, any scenario going on in your life. And I will read them and answer them. And I love you guys so much. And I literally read your comments about how this pod helps you guys, and it makes me so freaking happy. This is my passion. Like, I am obsessed with the podcast. I love you guys. This podcast has grown so much in the past year, and I'm just so grateful that I get to talk to you guys like this. And I love you. I am here for you. As always, follow me on Snap and Insta and TikTok. I check my comments everywhere, and I always reply to you guys on Snap, talk to you guys every single day on Snapchat. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are at like 155,000 subscribers right now. Can't believe that's real life. I've wanted to do YouTube my whole life, so this is like a dream. And I love you guys, and I will talk to you in the next one. I'm so grateful. I love you so much. I have so much love for you guys, and I hope you have the best week ever. Okay. Mwah. Love you, bestie boo.